Okay, so we will continue the second half of this tutorial. And, so we have an array, right? And in this case, for some reason, I need another array. So I'm going to leave the B as it is, and I'll just copy this over, right? And create like an array A above it, okay? Because so I'm going to create a random choice here, and I'm going to change the distribution. I mean, just to be funny about it, right? Three here. Let's change that 3. Let's just change that to maybe 4. So 4 was 8, and make this 1 and 1, right? Some difference in distribution. Everything else is pretty much the same, right? And well, let's just print A and B, okay? Print A, and let's see what happens. So now we have 2 arrays, and let's just assume, I'm not sure why this keeps popping up over here. Let's just assume that we want to plot this out, okay? One of the cool things that's available in Python that you can use for plotting, like simple graphs and things, is called the Metplotlib library, all right? And the way you're going to do that is open your, I was trying this earlier, open your terminal on Mac, or either your command prompt on your Windows, and you basically type, Mac users will type pop3, and Windows can type pop. Either way, import, we're going to say pop3, and then you basically do a install. Oh, no, not pop3. Pop3 is pip. Why am I typing pop3? pip3 install Metplotlib. You hit enter. I already have it, so that's why it went ahead and it gave a whole bunch of stuff. So I have it, right? If you don't, you got to write that command and get the Metplotlib library installed. All right. Now, since we're here, the other one you can also install is called clear, right? You can install, it's called a Seaborn. Seaborn is also a graphing library that we use. Seaborn, ORN, I think. Okay, it did something. Hopefully it installed properly. All right, no need for this. I'm done with this one. So how do we use this matplot, not pot, matplot library, right? And fairly simple. You can simply say from matplotlib, all right, import pyplot. Pyplot is a module in this matplot library that does the graphing. All right, so you have that now, and in a very simple simple way, you can simply say plt.plot, right? And I'm going to put A here and put B here, right? And then plt.show. See that? That's kind of neat, isn't it? Hey, printed something. That's important, right? It printed something, and if you wanted to, and the reason it did it this way, because you look at the numbers, you see how the numbers are everywhere. So that is how it's printed. How about these numbers that I have random right here. Anyway, that is basically how you go ahead and use the Matplotlib in a very, very small, small, lightweight, right? Lightweight. Okay, so that is that. And then we want to add some other stuff to it, right? We want to add some other stuff to it. So what I'm going to do here, I'm going to change this a little bit. The plot here, right, takes in 2 parameters, right? And basically whatever you provide, that is what is going to match to create your graph, right? All right, so we can do something simple here. We can use this keyword. All right, leave it here. Let me just try another one. Oops, Control Z. And I'm going to say here, pl.plot, right? And I'm going to use one set of data, which is the A, and you can say marker is equals to and O, right? Just watch what happens here. Hopefully, and I'm gonna, I need to take this one out because I mean it's working okay. I just control. Where's my X? Control X, right? Oops. Take that out. Take it out. Put it right here. Now that is looking fabulously good. You see, it does. So that is what that does with the marker is equal to O is it can emphasize. It can emphasize, put like a bullet point on each place where you need to have some kind of emphasis. You can change this to, I don't know, I'm going to change it to $sign and see what happens. Right, I'm going to change $sign, take this line out, and run this one, and hopefully maybe $sign is not available. How about star? Something small. It would be fun. It would be fun if you had a $sign. See that? It has a star over there. So a couple of things you can use to just make your graph looks, look good. Right? How do we change the color of it? You can still use, the, I believe you can do something like red. I think you can put a colon here with R, and that changed the color to red, I believe. Oh no. Well, the marker would be that 0. I thought that's how you do it. Oh, maybe I need to take this out. I'm sorry, I haven't tried that coloring feature for many years. There you go. Right, there you go. So you can do something like that. Whole bunch of stuff there for making, and I think you can also. So I believe that, and you can put marker size is equals to 10, right? Marker size is equal to 10, and all right, so let's change this. Marker equals to marker size is equal to 10, and then I want to say marker color, right? Edge color, you can say that to be I don't know, pink. I want to see what P does. Is a letter P. Whoa, it died out. Maybe P is not available. Maybe R is available. Anyways, maybe I'm just wasting too much of my time on trying to make this look better. There we go. And it looks a little bit better. Maybe not. But that's basically the idea. You can use your basic graph and do a whole bunch of stuff with it. I mean, colorful and all that. So now, how do we go about? So that is that. You can also do many other flavors you can put here, right? You can put here. I think you can say, line style, or make it dotted, or heavy, or dash. Just various kinds, or solid line. Different kind of things you can put there, creating that. However, now let's just say, okay, so we have, this is kind of cool. I like what I'm seeing here. I'm going to take this A and B out because I don't need it. Now, before we show this graph, how about let's do this plt.x label, and you can put here, I'm going to say, I'm just making up stuff here. Okay, cost, right? I'm just making up stuff here, of course, plt.y label, and let's just say, actually, let's put months here. I'm just, maybe days, and here let's just put cost. I mean, it's just to show you a variation of when you have when you put labels to your graph. What? That didn't work. Oh, spelling is mistake here. So label, that goes outside of it. Maybe that's what happened earlier when I was trying to See that days on the bottom, you can see a small days and cost on the left side. So you can do that kind of labeling as well, right? All right, let me see what else do I have in my note to kind of, oh yeah, how do we create a title? Title is neat too. This one doesn't have a title. So title is very simple too. You can simply say plt.title, my expenses. All right, and of course, you can change the color of all title and all that. Not a big deal, but it's all doable. Let's see if we can. You can also have we can change this to a plt.grid, right? And you can probably guess what that will do. That will create a grid for you. Kind of makes you see. And of course, once you have a grid, you can. So let me show this, then I can show you the other variation of what this will do. Right, puts a grid, and even in a grid, you can say something like axis is equals to x, right? And I think that will that puts the vertical axis if for some reason you need it. All right, what else do we need? Other cases, if you need to create like a separate graph, maybe like a 2 different graphs, you can also do something like that by using so you can use, how about this scatter? Okay, so how about this? Instead of doing a plot, I can do a plt.scatter, right? And scatter basically takes A and B, and I'm going to take the other plot out, okay? And you can imagine it just fills the whole thing with dots and things of where everything's supposed to be. See that? So that's kind of cool. You can also, if we need to use change it to like a bar, I mean, bars, BARS, right? You can simply, and I'm going to change this grid out because I don't like the way it looks. Run that again. You'll see it's going to create, oh, what do you mean bars? Bars, it's a bar. Right? That looks kind of really, really cool, right? And likewise, you can also do like, I think you can do a pie chart too. Instead of bar, you do a pie. I'm not sure how this will show up because my data doesn't match a pie. It matches, it has an X and Y value. Let's see what it does. Whoa, that's neat. I didn't even expect that. Kind of arrows everywhere, huh? So that is basically what a Matplotlib is and how you go about using it. All you need to have, these lines of code basically would create that for you, right? This line of code. Normally, instead of that, you normally say plot. I mean, I hardly used with pi and stuff like that, but I always use plot. All right, let me quickly see if there's anything else I want to mention to you. Plot. Yeah, I think that's pretty good, at least, right? At least you got some ideas of how to get started. Main thing before you start doing it is to make sure that the Matplotlib is installed on your computer, right? And then you can go from there. Anyways, hopefully this helps.